Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. We are recording. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. Today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Black Fate. And they have a new album called Savior Machine, which was released on October 23rd via Rock Shots Records. Right now, I'm being joined by Gus. We're going to chat about a few tracks off of the album, which also come with, I believe, music videos and lyric videos. And we're going to be chatting about what the band has been up to this year, what they've got coming up for, at this point of recording, actually, we could say the rest of 2020, even early 2021. So, Gus, welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Now, quite a few tracks to chat about off of this album, because I remember when I was talking with you guys and talking with the label about which tracks to chat about, 3 tracks actually came up.
Okay.
Maze, Nemesis, and Ithaca.
Yeah.
Were the 3 big tracks. Now, I guess my first question, Gus, is why these 3 tracks? Why are these 3 tracks the focus of the album?
Well, first of all, these 3 are not the 3 singles of the album. 2 of them are singles, but not all 3 of them. Nemesis is a single. Savior Machine is another single, and Maze is the final one, which was also the video that we did. But Ithaca is a very, very important song for the album, since also the album is called Ithaca. So it's a very, very important track. It has a lot of meanings for us, and it's also, it's not a concept album, but if I had to give one track that gives you the whole idea and the whole concept, let's say, of the album, it's this one. So that's why those 3.
Okay. Now you bring up a really important point, because when I introduced the record, I called it Savior Machine, because the information I have says the album's called Savior Machine, but then when I look at the artwork, it says Ithaca. So it's a good thing that you mentioned that. And
Savior Machine was the single number 1. Probably that's the case. So no worries.
Okay, perfect. Now, you mentioned that Ithaca is the most important track. It describes the whole concept of the album. My next question then, Gus, is, well, what is the concept of the album?
Great. Well, I always like answering that question. Well, like I said, exactly a concept album. There are some, let's say, lines and the whole meaning that we have throughout the songs. Now, of course, Ithaca is the place that Odysseus is originally from. He wanted to return to Ithaca after the Trojan War. And I don't know if you are familiar with the Odyssey. It's a story about his journey and adventures and all his obstacles and hard times to get back at home. Now, you can see our album Ithaca, and especially the song Ithaca, if you want, like, quite literally, as, okay, they're talking about, the Odyssey. But to us, it's not exactly that. Like, we don't, it's not like such a straightforward thing. We go a little bit more, we're using this story to say something a little bit deeper. And especially lyric-wise, we want the listener to connect with the lyrics in his own way. Like, if you can take the lyrics and, translate them, let's say, into your own world and into your own life and everyday life, this is a success for us. Like, because if you see, Ithaca is not exactly only a place for Odysseus. Of course, it's a place. He loves Ithaca and he wants to go there because he loves the place. But it's not only about the place. It's that he wants to find deeper things in there, like his love. Everything about his life is there. So that's why all the struggles, all those obstacles, for us, like in 2020, I think that this is something that, if you think about it, everyone has to carry his own torch. Let's say everyone has his own difficulties in life, and you go to work, for example, in the morning. You can't wait to get back at home. Your own Ithaca, So I think that with this, someone can translate it to his own way and connect both with the lyrics and the music and the band, of course.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And I mean, I'm listening to the track right now, and it's very heroic sounding.
Yes.
Did you guys write concepts, like lyrical concepts for the record, and then write music to those concepts, or is it kind of like a happy accident of sort?
No, it's I guess closer to the second. We always come up with the music first, and then Vasilis, our singer, will sit down and work on his vocal melodies and the lyrics, and if there is a concept, will come up from that. But again, it's not exactly a concept album. It's just that, a few tracks have like a common meaning, and they are kind of connected. Also, Maze happens to be one of them. Fortress of Solitude, you can see some connections between those. But definitely first, music first, and then lyrics and general concept, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm watching a music video for Maze, which is an incredible music video that you guys have here. Take us through this track and why it got the music video, and then what went into creating the music video.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we first started discussing which songs are going to become the singles and also the video, it was like a long conversation between us, because we needed 3 tracks that are, of course, different to each other, so that the audience can have as a good, let's say, as good as possible listen of the album's elements, let's say. So we didn't want to have, first of all, 3 similar songs. We wanted to have 3 completely different songs. And after that, about the video, we started, saying, okay, which of these songs is video material? And Maze was an option brought up by everyone in the band. We all loved the song, and we think that it has all the elements, or pretty much all the elements of the band and the album in 2020. It represents the band and the album Ithaca great, and for us is very, very important because let's be straight and honest. The first impression that someone has for a band and a new album is probably from the video that he will see. Like we live in this era right now of image, and everybody's on YouTube, so you have to give the right impression and give the right idea of the album. And I think that the video for Maze and the song Maze succeed doing that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, I'm watching the part right now where you got the guitar slung up and it looks like you're about to shred balls. So
yeah.
And as earlier in the pre-roll, we were chatting about you being a guitar teacher. I just wanted to touch on that, because obviously you know what you're doing. You guys have written this very cleverly. I'm curious, does being a guitar teacher help in the writing process, or maybe do you know too much?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, I never thought about it, but when it comes to writing music, I guess you mean more about the theory side of things, right?
Yeah, like do you end up getting into oh man, I was just teaching an A harmonic minor scale to one of my students. I should write an A harmonic minor scale in this song right now.
I don't know if it affects or influences me in in a subconscious level, but generally I don't do that. No, when I write music, it's a completely different procedure, and I just focus on that, and I don't even care about the theory side of things until it comes down to that. Like I just will probably have an inspiration and a riff might come up while I play, and then when that happens, it's like, oh wow, that's a good idea. Let's work on it. So I will put a metronome so that I can have a certain speed that I'm playing that, and usually one riff will bring the other, and one section of the song will bring the other, and so on. So I try not to think too much about the theory side, because I think that theory is great, and I know my theory, and I have, studied everything very, very deeply. But I think that when you write music and you think too much about the theory, there is a certain point that you can actually just do damage in your songs and in your songwriting, rather than helping them out and make them a little bit more interesting, maybe to just do something that it's going to sound intelligent. So I'm very, very careful with that.
Okay, very, very cool. Now, something else I have across my desk here is that it is Black Fate's 5th studio album. However, unless I'm reading this incorrectly, it's the first album to be released through Rockshots Records?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you take us through signing to Rockshots Records? What happened there?
Can you repeat that, please? Sorry.
Yeah. Can you take us through what happened to get signed by Rockshots Records and release the record through Rockshots?
Sure. Well, our previous record was released by another record label. This record label, well, it's all right to say, it's by Ulterium Records. They have to quit doing new albums for some time. For various reasons, they had to stop releasing new records. So we were having our album ready, which actually is one more reason why it took a little bit longer to get released. So we started searching for labels that are releasing our kind of music, our style of music, and Rockshots is one of them. We are not a band that we are so interested about, signing to the biggest label just to say that we are in this label. We care more about the work that a label can do for the band, and what it can do for the album and the band. And what we saw from Rockshots, and actually feel great to say that after quite some time of seeing what they're doing for the album, I feel, and we all feel in the band, very, 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 very well with them and what they're doing. They're really, really working great for the album.
Okay. Very, very cool stuff. Now, I think the only other question I had was the production on the album sounds incredible, and I'm digging everybody's sound. There's so much going on in that mid-range, your guitars, the keyboards, the vocals, but yet everything sounds very clear.
Yeah.
Would you mind taking us through the production of the record?
Sure. Well, the production was made by us, by ourselves. So we recorded everything, and we just wanted to have the best sounding results possible, even before going to the mixing process. Because if you have great results before you go to the mixing process, mixing is going to be easier and you're going to sound better on the long run. So we started by that, but we already knew who's going to mix the album, who's Steve Lado. Actually, he is a Greek mixing and sound and mastering engineer. He's really, really great at what he does, and you can hear it also with the Black Fate record and numerous other albums that he has done. So we talked with him. He said, "You know what, guys, I would like to work with that. So many channels. Please do it as close as possible to that." So we followed a little bit his advice as well. Drums were recorded, of course, separately. My guitars were recorded separately. Bass was recorded separately. Keyboards separately, and vocals separately. And we sent all the recordings to Steve. He did his magic, and here we are.
Here we are on the Rock Metal Podcast, baby.
Yeah.
Now, the album's release October 23rd. Was that always the plan, or has the way this year has gone with COVID changed some of quite literally Black Fate's plans?
Yeah, actually, you're correct on that. It was supposed to be released. I think it was April or May, something like that. It was the first plan, but COVID just changed everything. And keep in mind that Rocksoch is an Italian label, and Italy was struck hard in during spring by COVID, so it makes sense that everything had to push a little bit back. But we are very, very happy that we are finally, the album is finally out.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've chatted about Maze, the music video. We chatted about Nemesis, Ithaca as an album and as a track. How this year has gone for you guys. Traditionally, obviously, you'd be playing shows and whatnot, but what have you guys been doing, I guess, in lieu of the traditional route to promote the record? Has there been live streams or anything like that?
Not yet. We are thinking about it to do something, a little bit special, just to, to give something and to do something also, for ourselves. It's such a, shame that we have a new album and we cannot do that much. Like I was thinking the other day that usually we would have at least a release party or something that might also could be a live show or something, but we don't have many options. But we want to do some things that are allowed to do right now, but nothing to announce yet.
Okay. Is there anything that you wanted to chat about that I did not bring up, Gus?
No, I don't think so. I think that we have covered pretty much everything about the new album.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Gus, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Absolutely.